Hey there, how's it going everybody? Dan here with plantabundance.com. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the oldest cultivated plants known to man. This here is the fava bean, also known as the broad bean as we call it here in the States. It actually has quite a few different names. There's evidence of this even being found in old Egyptian tombs. So besides its long history of a food crop being cultivated, it also provides other applications, like it makes an excellent ground cover in a landscape situation. It also helps to build the soil by fixing nitrogen. The seeds are actually quite unique in the way that they come in a variety of different sizes with an array of different patterns on them. When the plant's left to mature, it puts off a showy display of fragrant flowers that help to attract beneficials like bees to the garden. The pods, they'll get anywhere between 5 to 10 inches long and generally contain between 3 to 8 different seeds in them. At this stage, the seeds inside the pod can be eaten raw, or if left to further mature on the plant, they can be cooked or saved for seed stock. If you're interested in achieving nitrogen fixation in the soil, you're going to want to cut the plant back while it's still young before it produces pods. It's at this stage that the root mass is still going to contain nitrogen nodules not yet utilized to feed the plant, and instead is going to disperse into the soil, helping to feed the surrounding plants. I allowed the majority of my fava bean plants to fully mature this year, and as you can see, they put off an abundant amount of nice pods. The plants grow anywhere between 2 and 5 feet tall and can benefit from being staked up unless you're growing it as a ground cover, which is very common. Then you could just let the plant kind of sprawl out along the ground. We're now at the latter part of June, and as you can see, most of the leaves have died back and now all the pods are dry right here on the stem. So this is the perfect point for harvesting the dry beans. As I do with a lot of my annual growers out here, I'm just going to cut off the plant rather than yank the whole root mass out. I like to keep the roots into the ground to decompose. And because the plants are fully matured, they utilize the nitrogen on the mass, so it's not helping to feed the soil in that way. But nevertheless, by not disturbing the ground, I'm leaving intact the soil microorganisms as well as the mycelium that's underneath the soil surface that we can't see. And as you can see, I achieved quite the harvest today with the Cuskin Super Yellow variety. The harvest was much smaller on my stone ear, but that was mainly because of the location I planted them, and they suffered damage from several different instances. So once I had the pods removed, I just took some time to actually get the seeds out of the shells. And you can see we ended up with about 50 stone ear, and we've got somewhere around 300 of the Cuskin Super Yellow. So this ended up being quite an impressive harvest, being as that I was only able to order 10 of each variety of seed last year, and now I've got quite the seed stock to move forward and further proliferate this plant, and then I'll be using it for more of a food crop, nitrogen fixer, and seed stock for the future. One thing I wanted to add to this is that if you're planting the fava predominantly for nitrogen fixation, then you're going to want to make sure to inoculate the planting seeds with rhizobium before putting them into the ground. That's going to help to create that symbiotic relationship between the bacteria in the soil to create those nitrogen nodules on the root mass. Also, the fava bean plant prefers cold weather. It doesn't tolerate the heat very well. So where I'm located at, Zone 9B, Northern California, I can plant these out either in fall, and they overwinter just fine in my experience, or I can plant them out late winter, early spring. But in colder climates, you're probably going to want to do that just in springtime. And you know, they're cold hardy. They can withstand temperatures down to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So besides the beans being edible, both raw and cooked, you could also eat the immature pods and the young leaves of this plant. One of the most impressive facts surrounding this plant is its protein content. Just 1 cup of beans can contain upwards of 50 grams of protein. It also has a very healthful amount of fiber, minerals, vitamins, enzymes. And finally, fava bean is not actually a bean. It's in the vetch and pea family, otherwise known as Fabaceae. So if you're not eating or growing fava beans yet, I highly recommend you give them a try. And with that, I just want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, and I hope this video finds you and finds you well, out in the world and out in your garden, planting more abundance in your life. Take care, everybody. I'll be talking to you again soon.